Okay, so the political system is the system of the government in one country. And usually, we will look at them by whether or not they emphasize the system itself, emphasize on collectivism or emphasize on individualism. So it's actually from the different culture, okay? So does anybody know what is collectivism?
You would achieve more by working together rather than by yourself.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
like in Japan, it's prioritized that you work with somebody else rather than you accomplish everything by yourself.
okay. So collectivism is like, we want to maximize the bigger group of benefit before we like maximize personal benefit. Okay, like, you know, I'm sure you guys heard of it, like a lot of people married for their families status, you know, they have like arranged marriage to marry to another family so that their family will be more powerful, you know, those kind of stuff. So that's collectivism. So you sacrifice your own love relationship to the family. You marry someone your family want you to marry, okay? So that's collectivism. And then individualism will be you do whatever you want, like, you know, whatever that can make you shy, you focus on that as long as you don't hurt other people, right? So that's two different systems. And then another categorization would be democratic or totalitarian. So democratic, we know it's, you know, the majority of people, they will decide they'll make the decision. Okay, so we express our voice by voting people that we agree with, right? Or we agree majority part with, right? So that's democratic and totalitarianism. Totalitarian is where only one person or one party, they would make the decision. Okay, so because of that, you know, we have different system. And so when we have a collectivism, so collectivism is that the goal, you know, we put the collective goal, which is a group of peoples, you know, a majority of people, their goal over individual goal. So it goes back all the way back to Plato. Plato says, you know, he wrote this book, what is it? Utopia? Yeah, Utopia. So Utopia is like ideal world that, you know, in that world everybody is taken care of, you know, all that. So that's basically that's to focus on the society as a whole, okay? And the property should be owned in common, like the property should be owned by the country. And then you just need to have a place, you know, we will be given a place to live so that, you know, we have the security of residence, but we don't use that to make profit. And so that's the it's the collectivism. And so when collectivism is emphasized, the needs of society as whole are viewed as being more important than individual freedom. But in our in our view, you know, then that means, so if we could afford a better place, you know, we still cannot own it. It will be owned by the society, by the government. Okay, so socialism was derived from this thought, collectivism. So I personally like the idea of socialism, like you take care of everybody, but the history shows it doesn't work eventually, right? People become lazy if they are taken care of. Okay, I don't know if you guys agree. Like another socialism country, you know, people, doesn't lose motivation to work harder because no matter what they do, you know, they know this is what they will get and everybody get the same pay. Okay, so we lose motivation. And the state ownership, the government actually should have the authority of a lot of distribution, exchange, they should control so that people don't make profit out of it. There won't be like yeah, like people taking advantage of certain situations, like, you know, when we had COVID, some people were selling the hand sanitizer, or like usually it was $1, but when we don't have the sanitizer, you can find it on Amazon, they would sell for $10 compared to $1 before. Okay, so some people would take advantage of that to do stuff like that. Okay, but if under socialism, this won't happen. And a lot of European countries, they are social democrats. So they by using democratic means, like they still vote and they still focus a lot in social welfare, you know, like German, like French, they all charge. You're from Dutch, right? Netherlands. So how about Netherlands? Do you charge, like, how do you have insurance,
Yeah,
public insurance?
well,
Like it's a government run insurance or it's a private insurance?
I think it's private.
So you don't have public insurance like Canada?
Don't think so.
No, okay, so they don't, they are not a socialist country, but in Canada, they are famous for the free insurance, right? Not really free, but you know, very cheap. So that's the theme of the democratic social democrat country. Okay, so they have some state-owned enterprise, but a lot of them started to privatize. So yeah, so a lot of state-owned enterprises start to privatize, but unfortunately last year, China, they elect Xi Jinping to be to continue his term, so he kind of changed the regulation. They used to only run 2 terms, so this is his 3rd term. And he say, I remember he said we need to make the privatized state-owned enterprise, you know, more state-owned now. So they have to, you know, they want to convert it back. So that's the socialism. And then we have individualism. So you can trace back to Aristotle. Aristotle is Plato's student, and so he thinks that we should try to what's the word? To do our best, and the way to do our best is to be motivated, to be rewarded by, you know, whatever we can do. So we should own whatever the profit we can make. Okay. So the emphasis on the individual freedom and self-expression. So you can see that, like, I don't know if you guys know a lot of Asian students. So in a lot of Asian countries are more from the collectivism culture. So like a lot of times we do stuff for the family, and you can see that a lot of Asians, they tend to like work in a group. Okay, they tend to do stuff with other friends. Americans, on the other hand, you guys are more independent. So the other day I saw a Facebook discussion. A lady, she's from Taiwan and she married an American husband. So they have a baby now. And she's like, my husband say the baby has to sleep in the other room so that he can be independent. And she's like, I never heard of this. She said, I stayed with my parents till I was 12. So she was so mad, and then I was like, it's so funny because that's exactly like, I didn't argue with my ex-husband, but my mom was arguing with him. My mom's like, my mom called me bad mother because I want to put my daughter in a separate room. Say, you're a bad mother. I slept with you like till you were like 10 or something. You know, you don't have your own room. How dare you put her in her own room? She will be lonely, blah, blah, blah. You know, she was just a few months old. So I said, no, we need to train her to sleep on her own. So it's different, right? So I don't know if you guys will feel comfortable answering me that question. How many of you, when you grow up, you sleep on your own bed? And how many actually sleep with parents? No? No? Nobody dare raise their hands or no? Okay, no. Yeah, so it's very different. If you heard someone say, oh, my kids need to sleep with me, what would you say? Do you think what do you guys think? None heard of? Never thought about it? They have to sleep in separate room? Yeah, so that's the difference. So we, and I know a lot of Asian kids, when you ask them what they want to do, they say something that their parent want them to do. You know, like I have a friend of mine, his son actually told me last year, he said, oh, I want to do like IT related stuff. He's in high school now, he's applying for college. So he said, I want to do IT related stuff. I actually like computer. And then his mom just want him to go to medical school. So this just 2 weeks ago, I had a dinner with him with another friend. So my friend asked him like, so what do you want to do? He said, oh, probably go to medical school. So I was like, huh. And then my friend said, oh, it's so like, oh, I admire you guys know what you want to do in high school when you are already only in high school. She said, my daughter, her daughter is like 30. She still doesn't know what she wants to do. And oh, I didn't say anything, but when the kids left, I said, it's different. I said, your daughter didn't know what to do because she has choices and she's thinking for herself. But he said he wants to go to medical school because his mom told him that's his only option, you know? So that's different. Yeah. So individualism focus more on self-expression, like you actually do whatever you want to do. And most of the time, your parents probably will support you, like saying, oh, I'm here, like support, not financially, like you say you want to start a business, they probably say, oh, you know, do what you want to do what you like to do, right? Most of them will say this, but the Asian parents will say, oh, why did you decide to do this? This, you can make money. Like my niece, she wants to major in art, and her mom actually, my sister actually told her, my sister say, you know, we know how talented you are. Like she is talented compared to average people, like compared to me, I can draw, but she can draw very well, but she's not like Picasso level. So she's like, you will not make a living if you are an artist. That's what she told her daughter. I said, what? You can be a art teacher and you can, you know, start your studio and stuff like that. Said I envy those who can draw and who can do all those kind of stuff. I can't do any of this. You know, like I can't even, we were talking about like when my daughter was little, she was in ballet. I can't even make a bun out of her hair. Like, you know, my hands are not my hands are very clumsy, right? Clumsy, like I can't do much with my hand. Yeah. So all I can do is type. So I can be a professor, I can type research paper, but I can't sew anything, I can, you know, I'm not like that. So I admire those who have art, you know, talent. But she told her, you cannot make a living if you study art. You know, it's just sad. And then she's doing vet, but she's like a vet assistant. So she's which is okay, but she still like art. Yeah. But here, the parents will not, like, definitely will not force you, oh, if you study English, that's what people say here. People in Taiwan say, oh, don't study history, it's useless, you cannot do anything. The most you can do is be a history professor, and they don't make a lot, so they will tell you stuff like that. But here, if you are interested, you should do it. And, we don't live for money, but, in Asian culture, we are told like, you have to find a job that pay well, okay? So anyway, so for the individualism, we will have democratic system and we have free market, where, if you are able to buy the property, as many properties as you want, you can own it. It's not like, in some socialist country, when you buy a house, you actually buy the right to live in the house for like 999 years. You don't actually own the house. Okay, in another country like Singapore, you don't actually own the house. You actually rent. You have the right to use it for 999 years. Yeah. So that's the difference in different political system. So you guys know the democracy, that the government, the people actually voted for the whatever they want to support. The smaller country, they will have direct democracy, like Switzerland, Taiwan, so we can vote for the president directly. I told you, we just had our election 2 weeks ago. And then US, we have representative democracy. We will have our election next year, next January, right? Is it next January or this November? When is the voting time? You guys know? When is US president?
November.
November, right? Yeah. Yeah, so November, we're going to vote. So I haven't looked at the poll this week, but last time when we talked, I remember it was 50 over 48. So the totalitarianism, the government is held in one person over one party. They have the absolute control, and they have political repression, no free, fair election. Okay, they will have elections, but only one candidate. Okay, and you have to vote. So usually the voting rate is really high. And then the media is censored. But here, actually, it depends on whatever media, they support. Somewhat, it's not yet. So the basic civil liberty is Article 9. You cannot challenge the political regime. So before COVID, there was a strong protest in Hong Kong, and a lot of Hong Kong young people, they went out street to protest, and then China sent military to kind of overseeing the whole thing. And I remember I have friends in Hong Kong, so I text him on WeChat. WeChat is a Chinese run company, the sort of like WhatsApp. Okay, so I text him. I say, hey, what's going on? Like, how are you guys doing? He said, oh, can we talk on iMessage? So WeChat was censored, and if you say anything about supporting Hong Kong protests, you will receive a message saying this is illegal, and you will be banned or you'll be taken away by the police. So a friend of mine, she's from Hong Kong, and she still have relatives in China. So she send WeChat, like she spread out some message to say, oh, this is wrong. And then she got a message saying, this is the first warning. You would not spread this kind of message again. Yeah. So, she screenshot, she showed me the message she got. Yeah. So in China, this is like, and I know they don't have They don't have access to YouTube. They don't have access to podcasts. So a lot of stuff they don't, and they don't, I don't know if they have, from what I heard, I think, I don't know if I told you guys, I taught one class in China over winter break. And, so I said, can you guys use ChatGPT? They say they can't. They have they say they have their own version of ChatGPT, but it's so highly censored. So, and they cannot do much with that. Yeah, so I remember, some reporter from, forgot which station, from some media, they went to try the China version of ChatGPT. So they asked question like, so what do you think about Xi Jinping and Winnie the Pooh? Have you guys heard of that joke? You know about the joke? What is it?
Well, I just saw the episode that South Park did on it, and I thought it was quite hilarious.
Yeah, but do you know why?
I have an idea, but I can't remember exactly why.
So people were mocking the China President Xi Jinping. They not really mocking, but I forgot how it started, but some people say he looked like Winnie the Pooh. So they would say, oh, Winnie the Pooh, they will use Winnie the Pooh to, like, when they talk about him, because if you talk about him directly, you'll be censored. But then they found out. So now people, like, sometimes people joke about Winnie the Pooh and Xi. So when they ask questions, so what do you think about? And then the GPT say, oh, you shouldn't ask me that question. And then they asked like 3 times, and then they got banned from the AI there. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's like, I think I'll be in trouble if I go there, because I talk too direct. I don't know how to talk. You guys can see, like, when I say stuff, I don't know how to say, like, in a polite way. You know, I say stuff very direct, right? So if you feel offended, please let me know and try not to be offended, because that's how I talk. But at the same time, also concerned when I go to China, you know, I might get in trouble. So, and then for economic system, do we have, what time do we need to? 12:15, right? Okay. So for the political system, economic system, so we have market economy, the free economy, we have command economy, and we have mixed. So market economy is like us, you know, the supply, demand, decide everything. And state-owned enterprise, restricted market, they are the command in command economy, okay? And then for the yeah, we talk about this. And then for the mixed economy is basically, you know, mixed, like a lot of we say social democracy. They will have mixed, like, important industry will be owned by the government. Okay, so this is Kim Jong-un. He was inspecting the factory there. So I don't know if we could visit North Korea, but I think that would be interesting to visit. Yeah, North Korea. So the other day I heard a podcast that talk about the politics between South and North Korea. So it obviously South Korean, I think they want to be united with the North, but I think now the North say we don't want to be united. So yeah, so that's the current update I heard. Yeah. And then this, I'm going to, should I talk about this? I'll skip this. So, so do you think economic freedom is the must for country to provide the stage of international business? And which country has the highest economic freedom? Why does economic freedom matter? What do you guys think? You think it's important? If there's a country that have great potential to expand to, but they don't have economic freedom. Will you still go to that country to develop your market, or will you say, let me think about it? Or say, no, what is it? No pain, no gain. You know, take the risk, high return. What will you guys do?
I think some people might put it there, develop it, and then they deem it big enough, or at least at some degree, pull it out once they have enough and just move on with it.
Okay,
Because they don't plan on staying there long term.
Okay.
Develop it and-
anybody else? Have you guys heard of In-N-Out Burger? Have you guys tried? Do you guys want to try? I know. I heard podcasts. They are the top 10 best workplace. So their minimum in California In-N-Out Burger, the minimum wage is $22.5 per hour. So I was like, oh, maybe I should start a franchise here in Pennsylvania, the first In-N-Out in Pennsylvania. Yeah, so let's see. I'll reach out to them and then see what would happen. Yeah, so economic freedom. So it like depends on, you know, different preferences, but there's something I want you guys to think about. You know, whether or not you want to take the risk to go to some region that's not economic free, okay? But maybe you have connections. Let's say we have some prince from I made up a country. So let's say we have a prince from Ethiopia, okay? And it's our classmate. And then he said, if you guys come here, I take care of you guys. All your business will be approved. You can do, and I can start my In-N-Out Burger there. Okay. So will you guys go there? You guys be interested? Like, oh, this is special connection because not many people have be the classmate of the prince, Ethiopian prince. Will you go? Or you'd be like, we don't know because, you know, he might lose power to another prince. You know, he might be killed or something. We don't know, right? It's not a stable environment. So what will you guys do? You guys seize the chance, or will you say, just stay here? There's something that, something to try to think about, okay? So, so this is economic freedom. And then this one, so I'll just show you really quick. So Google China, this is their website. Let's click. So this, see here. So they say, please go to Google Hong Kong. And then we go to Google Hong Kong. Okay. So they withdrew from China. Google withdrew from China in I think 2007 or 2009. Yeah. So and there's another whole story, but you know we won't talk about it today. So this is 2006, 2010 they withdrew. Yeah. So Google Map. Oops. So Google Map really doesn't work in South Korea. Okay, I actually tried, it doesn't work there. And we have to download the Korean app, but they don't speak English. So you have to, I wasn't able to, yeah, but my daughter can read Korean. So but she can only read like the words, she doesn't know what it means. So, but she can type in Korean. So wherever we want to go, we ask her to type in and then we can look at like, okay, approximately there. Yeah. So, but most of the time we have to call taxi, and Uber doesn't work. Well, it worked like 1 out of 10 times in Korea. So we have to beg people to call taxi for us on their Korean app. But a lot of time they didn't want to help. because they are worried that, if I use the app to call Uber, like in their app, they can choose to pay to the taxi driver directly or from the app. So they are worried if we don't pay, that they will be deducted from their app. So a lot of people don't want to call taxi for us. Yeah, so that's so last thing for legal system. Legal system in US, what's our legal system? We are common law or civil law? Do we have detailed set of laws or do we use tradition, precedent, and custom? What do we use? Do we have detailed set of law?
Like if you break a law and there's subsections and there's some articles and whatever have you, and like say that rule is different within each state and there's some federal that same for all states, depending on what their environment law.
Yeah,
So-
but we are mostly common law. Okay, so if we steal stuff, is any like criminal law, 1.256 or something to say, oh, if you steal something worth this much, you'll be fined this much money or you'll be put in jail for so many days. We don't have that kind of stuff, right? So we have the precedents, and then it changed. And like in California, they pardon whatever, how much was the amount, $900 something. If you steal something under $900 something, it's not a crime anymore. Okay, you cannot call police. No, seriously, have you guys read about it? No? So a lot of people like in California, the California resident, when they park their car, they will just roll down their window. Because if someone break their window, try to steal something in the car, and it's under $1,000, the police will not take the case. You cannot report to police. So you might just roll down the window, they then search whatever they can find, valuable stuff. Don't break the window, otherwise you have to make an appointment to fix the window, right? So that's what happened in California. But in a different legal system, common laws, civil law. So civil laws are actually more popular in other countries like Germany, France, Japan, Russia, Taiwan, China. We all have civil laws. So the one simple example you guys can remember is when you go rent a house, when you sign the rental or leasing agreement, it's like it has all the details, right, on your agreement. But in the civil law country, the contract is very simple, just name, who is the landlord, who is the tenant, and how long you're going to rent, how much you pay. That's it. Because everything else, it's in the, how we call like leasing law or something like that. There's a law to talk about, to protect both sides. Okay, so that's the difference. So when we do business in the civil law countries, we need to understand the law, and then we won't be putting everything in a contract. The contract will be relatively easy. But in US, when we have to business with the common law countries, then everything will be, written in a contract. So that's it for today. Any questions? Did I miss anything? Okay, so try to think about your cat litter project. I hope you guys can make money out of it. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday.